Hi guys. So I have not done a reading wrap up in a while. I think I said this in an earlier video, but I'm pregnant and I've been sick, and so it's just a lot. Obviously I haven't been sick for the last 6 months, but I just haven't gotten around to reading wrap ups. This last month I've decided I'm going to start, at least this month though. It's beginning of November, so I'm going to do an October reading wrap up. It wasn't my best month ever. There were some books I liked, but others that were just like either not good or meh. I haven't been reading as many physical books. It's just easier to do ebooks, honestly. So that's what I've been doing more of. But I'll go through them, try and give a little summary. It was a long month, I feel like. I mean, it went by fast, but like I don't remember half. Like I was just scrolling through my list and I was like, what is that book? I read that. So it is what it is. We'll go through them. And yeah, if anything sounds good, let me know. So the first book I finished was called The Divine and the Cursed, which is the Fae of Elastriona series by J.E. Reed. And this one I liked. I apparently gave it a 4.5. I don't know if it deserves a 4.5. I would say like 4.25. I think I just gave it a high ranking because it was entertaining. Like I enjoyed reading it and I read it fast. But it is like a Fae story where there are Fae, half-breeds, and humans, and there's different kingdoms, and the half-breeds and humans are treated better in some kingdoms than others. So the main female character is from a kingdom where the half-breeds and the humans just like coincide and live happily with the Fae. But we know in the beginning of the book that she was taken captive 2 years ago. And she has been living in a kingdom, or like living, whatever, in a kingdom as a slave, where half-breeds and humans are not treated equally. And I can't remember exactly how she is, maybe 17. Before you're of age, you can like take on a half-fae form, and so that's how she's been hiding herself, I guess, for the last 2 years. But soon she's going to become of age, and then her fae form will come out, and the other fae will smell it on her or whatever fae do that, and then she'll be ousted. And I mean, they'll know that she's a fae, but in the beginning you don't know. But I mean, I could kind of tell that she was a like royalty, just the way that they wrote the book and stuff. But then she's taken captive and she's brought to this war camp, and there's like the most notorious evil fae with the biggest powers and stuff there, and I wonder what'll happen to get there. But it was entertaining. I liked the main character. I mean, she's nothing special, but I liked her. There was nothing wrong with her that bothered me, so that was good. It was a bit of Stockholm Syndrome, but not terrible, Like, the author did it well, that it didn't feel too insta-lovey, that she would fall for her captor, But it's definitely a romantasy, like, that is the main plot line of the book. So just putting that out there. If you like fantasy but not romantasy, this one's not for you. Next, I apparently read Prisoner of the Witch Queen, which at first, this is the one that I saw. I read it and I was like, what? I don't know. But I somewhat remember it now. It's something about how like the mother was like battling this evil witch or something like that, and then the evil witch said that like when your daughter comes of age, I'm coming to take her, and she's gonna be my like bed maiden, like a concubine. And so the mom never told the daughter, and then the brother falls sick, and then it comes out that maybe it was the Witch Queen that did it, and so she goes. The daughter she's a lesbian. Like, it's not like a forceful thing, but she goes and she gives herself over, and she's like, I'm trying to remember. I think like she wants the Witch Queen, like she's attracted to her, but like she still doesn't like being held against her will, obviously. And so it's one of those books where she's like held captive. I apparently was in a Stockholm. I wonder if it was like, I think these were both Kindle Unlimited, so I wonder if it like recommended the next one to me. This, as I'm explaining this, it sounds like Stockholm Syndrome again. But it was a short book. It looks like it was 250 pages. It wasn't good. I gave it a 2.0. The spicy scenes weren't even all that good. The storyline wasn't all that good. I don't recommend it. Sorry, Eddie Marr, who wrote the book, but it wasn't for me. Next, I listened to The Anxious Generation, How the Great Rewiring of Childhood is Causing an Epidemic in Mental Illness. I gave it a 4.75 apparently. 4.5, I would say maybe, but a lot of it wasn't like groundbreaking, or it might have been groundbreaking for some people, but I wasn't surprised by it. It's pretty much about how young people are getting social media too early, and it's causing to more anxiety. And so pretty much they just say like it affects girls more than boys. You should have your kids outside playing with unstructured play more. Don't let kids get social media until they're 16, that kind of thing. It was very well done. They had very good, Jonathan Haidt is who wrote it, but he had very good, like backup research for it and everything. Like, I trust it and I believe it and everything. And I think it's good to read if you're interested in that kind of thing. I have a 5 and a 3-year-old, so it wasn't all that applicable to me because like we do get outside. Like we live in the middle of a forest, so like they get outside. So it wasn't all that life-changing for me yet, but it was a good book. I recommend it. Next, I finally finished Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. It was one of his secret novels, whatever they were called. And I had started it, and then I paused because I wanted to read it out of the book, and then I never got around to it. And I liked it. It was good. It wasn't great. So if you've ever listened to Brandon Sanderson, the way he talks, he's kind of like nerdy and weird, and you can totally see the way that the book is written. He like poured more of that into this book. So I love the Stormlight Archive books, and Mistborn was good, but Stormlight Archive is like my favorite. And those are like high fantasy, like hard rule magic systems, political battle, that kind of stuff. And this one was more told as like a fairy tale for adults. Like it was like whimsical, and it was told from a perspective. If you've read anything else in the Cosmere, like there's overlapping Easter eggs and everything. And perspective it's told from makes sense the way he wrote it. The whimsical and kind of nerdy perspective it came from, but it just wasn't for me. It didn't work for me, but it wasn't bad. It was a good story. It wasn't my favorite form of storytelling. Then for book club, we read The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. He apparently is like a producer or something. Everybody, like all the reviews on Goodreads were like, sorry, excuse me. Like you never know what a celebrity is gonna write about, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know who he is. But The Thursday Murder Club is just, it's like a lighthearted mystery novel. Like it's just a fun read. It is about four old people who get together on Thursdays and try and solve unsolved murders. So they like get old cold cases, files, and try and figure out who did it, pretty much. And then all of a sudden somebody is actually murdered, like at their, like not a nursing home, but like assisted living or whatever, like where all the elderly go in and live in a condo together, those things. Somebody's murdered there, and then they try and solve who did it and are trying to figure it out and are make friends with the police, and they all have interesting backstories that you like kind of learn as you go along. But it was just amusing to read, you know, old people do what they want. I think there was one quote from the book that was like, when you're old, you can do whatever you want. Nobody tells you you're wrong unless it's your doctor or your children or something like that. I'm like, yeah, that's true. You do whatever you want when you're old. So it was amusing. I didn't really see it coming. Like, there was parts that I kind of guessed, but then they would go back and go over why that wasn't true, and it was a well-written book. I liked it. I would probably read another one. I mean, I'm not like rushing to pick up the next one, but I would read the next one in the series. I assume it's just another murder mystery. It's not like you can stop after the first one and just be done if you want to. But yeah, it was good. I listened to The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. It's the first in the city of Fantôme. This one was about, they're like people, but there's this magical flower in their world, and people distill it or break it down or whatever to make this magic out of it. And there's like two like mobs kind of, or like mafia groups in the city. There's the daggers that like actually ingest it, and that gives them like more powers, and they're the ones who go around killing people in the city. And then there's the cloaks, who wear the magic like as a cloak, and it can like cover them up and make like shadows over them, you know, so nobody can see them. And they're the thieves of the city, and they've had a long truce where they don't do each other's jobs, and they just coexist kind of, but they don't like each other. And then the main character in the beginning, her mom dies, and she flees to the cloaks. And then there's like a whole mystery that goes down from there. It is a romance subplot line to it. It's not the main plot line, but there's enough romance that like just be wary. I think it's probably romantic-y. Yeah. It is young adult, but I'd say it's like new adult. Yeah. I don't think there's like really spicy stuff, but they like allude to that they're not virgins, you know. I can't remember if they sleep together or not, but yeah. It was good, wasn't great. I gave it a 3.75, I guess. I listened to it on Book of the Month. I don't like Book of the Month's audio platform. It blips out on me a lot, and it doesn't like save where I am, so I have to continuously like write down in my Goodreads or my Storygraph like where I am, and then go back to it and rewind. It doesn't tell you how much of the book you're done with. It only tells you the chapter. I paused my Book of the Month subscription because I wasn't loving it. Yeah. And then finally, I wanted to read a thriller for October. So I listened to The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead, which was good. It was kind of like, what's it called? Oh, The Handmaid's Tale. It's kind of like The Handmaid's Tale a little bit, in that it's centered around this woman who got out of this cult, and the cult is where like men are the dominant species, and in order to be feminists, you should acknowledge that men and women are different, and women are subservient, and they're all just like little sex slaves. So in the beginning you can kind of tell that like it says that she like got away, and she and her best friend ran away, but then all of a sudden you find out that her best friend died, and you thought that she got away from everything, but now she's dead. And so she's like, oh wait, what happened? And so they're trying to track down this mystery now. She and her old friend from high school, who's now a podcaster, who does like true crime podcasts, and so they try and track down the mystery of the college friend who was in the cult with her and what happened to her, and try and take down this cult pretty much. So yeah, it was good. It was interesting. 3.75. I recommend it. It was an entertaining read. I listened to it, but it's nothing like my new favorite novel, but it was good. Yeah. And that was all I got done in October. 7 books. Not my best, but I mean, not bad for life, but for me, it's not great. But that's okay. I think I read my 100 books this year. I know that. Yeah, I'm at 110, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that, especially since for a couple months there I was low. I was like 5 books or something for a couple months there. I had like, and then there was January that I had, I think, like 17. But next 2 months we'll see what happens. How much I read. I am taking a little trip to Florida, so I should get some reading done because I'm just going solo, so I can read and take time by myself before this new kid gets here and I'm stuck with a kid locked on me at all times. I love my kids, but you know, stay-at-home mom, new mom, they're stuck on you. So yeah, all right, see you next time, guys. Bye.